guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about the CBCS certificate credential. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue. I'm a medical coder. I have been a medical coder for over 10 years. I created my channel with the hope of sharing all the things that I know with all of you. So I hope you'll take a second, hit that subscribe button, like, and share. Okay, let's get into it. All right. I get asked this question quite often. Blue, why do you only talk about AHIMA and AAPC credentials? Specifically, the question that inspired this episode today is this. A viewer wrote in and said, "Hi Blue, I've been watching you for a while now. I'm currently in school and will be taking my PSI exam for my CPCS certification on Thursday. I don't ever hear you talk about this certification. Can you explain why and if this is a good certification to have and the likelihood of getting employment after I am done in November?" All right. With that read, I will say this because disclaimer first, because I always got to cover my bases. These are my opinions after this, all right? When I give you guys the lowdown on this. These are my opinions. This is what I know of the industry because I've been in it for over 10 years. I know a lot because I'm very detailed. I don't know everything, okay? And I'm not even trying to say that I know everything. However, I am a researcher. I do my research. And if you have watched my videos before about the medical coding job listings explained, I take the time to break down different job positions in the HIM field, all right? And whenever I'm doing this, I'm telling you guys what the employers are looking for, which credentials are they looking for. And I have yet to see anybody ask for the CPCS credential when it comes to jobs in medical billing and coding. And the reason is this. If you want to be competitive in the medical billing and coding field, you have to be certified with the American Health Information Management Association or the American Academy of Professional Coders. These are what employers are looking for. And if you don't believe me, that's completely fine. You can do your research and look and see what are they asking for when it comes to what they're looking for in an employee, all right? So I want you guys to know that I'm not trying to bash anybody. I'm not trying to bash anything. I am just letting you guys know that these are the facts. And I will also say this before I get into all of the other stuff. Schools, the trade schools are businesses. At the end of the day, it is a business. Yes, they are there to educate you, but at the end of the day, they are a business. And they're going to do things to make themselves be more desirable to potential students, because getting adults to go back to school voluntarily is a big feat, all right? And these recruiters, they have a job to do. And when it comes to this CPCS credential, this they say that you can get it in a very short span of time, and you'll have this credential after your name. The deal is anybody asking for this? So that's the thing. And a lot of times when I've even been approached myself about teaming up with I'm not even going to call it a school because it wasn't a school. It was like an online shop of schools, like a bunch of different schools. And the guy was like, well, we have this program about medical billing and coding, and it's going to be for 5 months. And see, already, 5 months is too fast. If you are going into a medical billing and coding program, a reasonable rate to learn medical billing and coding is 9, 12, or 18 months. That's what you're looking at. If you get through a program faster than that, that is entirely too fast. However, it can be done, but just because it can be done doesn't mean that you have the quality of education that you should have when you're getting out into the real world. Yes, I made it through my program. My program was 9 months, right? I went to a trade school, and the trade school is no longer there. So it was supposed to be 9 months. They said 9 to 12 months. I made it through in 6 months because I was extremely determined. And if you haven't had a chance to, I will include the video down in the description box of how I got started. But the thing is, I made it through in 6 months. I'm a reader. I am a studier. I had a really good support system. There was a lot of things, a lot of factors that went into how I was able to get through the program so quickly and be successful like I am now. There is a difference, okay? And not everybody likes to study. Not everybody wants to do something like that. But that's why I have my channel, to tell you guys what it's all about. So getting back to the CBCS. So a lot of times programs will say, well, what can we offer them to make our programs look more attractive? Well, if we have something that says that this is a certified billing and coding specialist, hey, this sounds like a good idea, right? And it is through the National Healthcare Association. Now, before I started my channel, I had never heard of these guys. I mean, honestly, I'd never heard of them. I'd never heard of the CBCS. And when people were asking me about it, I'm like, what is that? You know, I've only heard of AHIMA and AAPC. And then I started to look and I was like, oh, okay. But then I found out by doing my own research that this is a certificate that is offered through these programs, right? These accelerated programs, because it's like making it more attractive. Hey, we're going to train you for AHIMA and AAPC credentials, but at the same time, you'll be able to get this CBCS it's included with your program. Oh, I got 2 credentials after my name after I take this other test. Wow, you know, I can really, you know, get a job quickly. Guys, if you are brand new to this field, it is going to take some finesse. And I talk about this quite often. But that aside, because I can get into a whole different thing about being brand new to the field, I want to get into this, explaining what this is, and then talking about everything else. Okay, so the CBCS is a certified billing and coding specialist offered with the National Healthcare Association, and I got their website up, and it says individuals with the CBCS certification from NHA gain access to the knowledge and training they need to prepare for a rewarding and meaningful career as a sought-after billing and coding specialist. As a CBCS, you may perform some or all of the following tasks: gather, review essential patient information, verify required documentation before the patient information is released, prevent fraud and abuse by auditing billing, support coding and billing processes, assign codes for diagnoses and procedures, submit claims for reimbursement, coach healthcare providers to achieve optimal reimbursement. Billing and coding specialists have the expansive range of opportunities for employment. The skills learned through the NHA CBCS certification are essential to hospitals, physician offices, surgery centers, nursing homes, dental offices, home health care agencies, mental health facilities, and even insurance companies and consulting firms. Open the door to a rewarding career path by becoming a CBCS. Don't wait another moment to change your life. All right. If you're doing your research, I ask you guys to do your research and look at the job listings for medical billers and coders. If you're looking to be a medical biller, you do not have to be certified. And I say this many times in my videos. Yes, the American Academy of Professional Coders has their CPB credential, which is a certified professional biller. Now, this credential I recommend for somebody who has their own business, all right? Because it is a program. I mean, it's you know, it's a credential, and it's taken time, and it's really studying what you're doing and things like that. I don't really know what the program all entails to be a CBCS. All I know is that when I am looking for jobs for medical billers, there is no credential that is needed. Now, I say if you have your own business, to get the CPB, just to have something on your name, just to give the people that you're trying to work for some sort of reassurance that you've had some professional training. Okay, and just because the CPB is attached to AAPC, and that is one of the big names. So if you want to have any sort of competitiveness in this field, you need to be either AHIMA or AAPC. And the reason that I say that, again, going back to the job listings, when they're asking for medical coders, they're looking for AHIMA and AAPC credentials. Billers, they're not looking for any credentials at all. They usually will just want experience, or sometimes they'll tell you that they will train you when you are starting out as a biller, and which that's normal, because every place is going to have different billing practices. Every facility is going to accept different insurances, so there's going to be different rules, because not all insurance companies have the same rules. And if you spend any time talking to a biller, you'll know that insurance companies tend to change their mind quite often. So because of this, billers have to be detailed, and they have to really keep up with the changes with any of the insurance companies. But if you are getting the CBCS, this whole video is not to discourage you at all, but this is just to let you know that if you were trying to be competitive in this field, that looking at AHIMA or AAPC credentials is where you really want to concentrate and spend your time learning, right? So that you can get one of these credentials through them. And I have videos about the breakdown of the different credentials, but this is the reason that I don't focus on this CBCS, because the information that I bring to you guys is the stuff that you should know. Now, like I said, I was approached by somebody to talk about promoting the school that they were trying to put onto their website. And I wouldn't, because of the simple fact that I felt that the program that they were trying to promote was too fast. This was one of the credentials that they said that, they would give the people a voucher to take this, and it's included with their program package and things like that. And that they do get trained with the HIMA and AAPC as well. But the thing about it is, I'm not going to put my name on something that is not fully going to make sure that you're going to get all the training that you need. And to be in an accelerated 5-month program is just entirely too fast. And then to get a credential that is an employer looking for that, so that wasn't a very good meeting. But that goes to show you guys that this was going to be, something that they were saying, oh, we'll pay you to promote this program. And I refuse to do it, because I will not be swayed with money. I will not. Okay. That's number one. And number two, I care about the next generation of medical coders. I care about current medical coders, and I care about veteran medical coders, whether or not they want to hear me or not. Because believe it or not, there are some people that don't want to hear me, and that's fine. It's totally fine. But at the same time, I know I am doing my best, my effort to bring the information to you all. When they say things like gather and review essential patient information, that is any position that you have in the medical field. You're going to have to make sure that the patient information is correct. Everybody does that. So this is something that, yes, everybody does it. Verifying required documentation before patient information is released, of course. If you are doing release of information, you're going to have to make sure that that patient is who they say they are. You don't need a credential to tell you that, to say that you can do that. Okay. Again, it says prevent fraud and abuse by auditing billing. And now I don't know what they mean by that, because, obviously the billers are going to have to look at this stuff. And yes, whatever you submit, of course, if you have to look and make sure that everything is good. That is a job of a biller. That's what billers do. Okay. With or without a credential, that is what a biller does. And then support coding and billing processes. Again, billers and coders are cousins. Okay. Sometimes it's the same person, and sometimes it's two different people, but they're cousins. Okay. To put it colloquially, they're cousins. And the biller deals with the patients, and they deal with the insurance companies. The coders, they're the ones that deal with the providers and everybody else, the nurses and things like that. They take care of that side. What the provider is documenting goes to the coder. The coder does the coding, takes it to the biller. The biller goes and takes it to the insurance company for payment, and everybody's happy, okay, at the end of the day. So that is the way that these things go. But submitting claims for reimbursement, that's what billers do. And this is a billing credential, yes. But again, you can do this without that. All right. Coach healthcare providers to achieve optimal reimbursement. You have to know the rules. And for these accelerated programs that offer this credential, I'm not sure that, because I don't know what their programs in all entail. The guy couldn't even tell me what this accelerated program, what the syllabus was. He couldn't even tell me what it was, because I asked him specifically, what does this program, what is the syllabus for this program? He couldn't answer me. I asked questions. And I'm giving you guys straightforward information. And sometimes people don't like that. And oh well. I would rather help more people than, you know, be concerned about, oh, who am I upsetting? Because I'm just giving you guys the facts. This is what this credential is. This is the reason that I don't talk about this credential on my channel, because my channel is focused on medical coding, medical billing and coding. Because yes, we do, even though I have only done coding, I do understand the practice and the things that billers have to do. You have to, as a medical coder, you have to understand that if you are submitting so many units of a procedure, that it may get a kickback from the biller, because it may send up a red flag, but you got to be able to support why you submitted so many units. Allergy testing comes to mind. But that is one of those things. You know, medical coders, I should say, medical coders know the rules. We know the rules. We know how to interpret the documentation. That is what we do. And to be able to have this skill, it takes time, and it takes not just, oh, well, we're going to market to working folks, working adults, and they can do this in their spare time. They could study to be this medical biller and coder, and you know, they can get on their way to having a new career. There's a lot that goes into it. And a lot of people get very confused when it comes to, okay, well, I understand how to do the coding part, like look up codes, but I don't really understand like the reimbursement process, or, you know, why do they have to do this, or what are these rules on E&Ms and things like that. There's a lot of things that go into it. And I always kind of like hesitate when I say everything that goes into it, because I don't want to scare people. But at the same time, I think that you guys would be better served knowing all of this information and understanding what it means, which is why I do the breakdown of the job listings explained. I do that so that way you guys can understand the language and what they're looking for in these job listings. Because I wish somebody had done that for me when I was starting, because I did not know a single thing. When they asked me, they said, one of the interviews that I had was like, how many records can you code per hour? I said, oh, I could do 25. And I had no idea what 25 meant. But I said it because I was thinking of like, oh, all of the codes that I do. And that's what I was thinking of at the time. And they were like, wow, you know, that's pretty quick. So they gave me the test. I passed the test, but they were like, okay, well, you don't have experience. And they go, we need you to have some experience. And, you know, can you get experience and then just remember us and come back to us? And I was also like, oh, okay. But yeah, that was one of those things that, you know, when you understand the language, it would better prepare you for what is out there. All right. But if you have this CBCS, I hope that you will consider taking a credential exam with an AAPC, because you're going to need it if you are wanting to be a medical coder. Okay. And if you just want to be a biller, you can skip all that and you can just apply to be a biller, because all you need to be a biller is a high school diploma or a GED. And that's it. You know, a lot of times billers, really good billers, are hard to come by, because they, you know, people get confused with all of these rules, and they're like, it's changing all the time. And sometimes people don't like that. I encourage you guys to check out my friend Rachel. She has her own channel. She is the Jaded Medical Biller. I'm going to leave the link for her channel down in the description box below. I hope you guys will give her some love and check out her channel. She owns her own medical billing business, and she has a program on how to start your own medical billing business. Not how to be a medical biller, like training on the billing, but if you've already been a biller and you want to take that leap, you should check out her channel, because she has a really great program. So, but yes, that is what I want to talk about today. And that is what I wanted to let you guys know. That's the reason that I don't talk about the CBCS, because I'm talking about serious subjects, and not that the CBCS isn't a serious subject, but it isn't what I'm talking about in line with, you know, being a competitive medical coder, you know, which is with going with the HEMA or AAPC credentials. That's what you want, you know. And it's another reason that I don't talk about money on my channel too. And to people's chagrin, they get mad at me. But it's different everywhere you go. And for some people, you know, I've heard some of the figures that they say, like, oh, this is a really low figure. And then they give me a figure and I'm like, that's low to you? Okay. But you can find out what a medical coder makes in your area by looking through the Bureau of Statistics or the Department of Labor, because everywhere in the U.S. is going to have a different starting salary for medical coders, okay? So, and when you hear these really large salary amounts, I want you guys to stop and look and do your research, because a lot of times when people are trying to promote these programs, they're going to say these large, ridiculous numbers, and it just infuriates me to no end, because that's how they're drawing people in. And while, yes, the money is good, everybody knows the money is good, don't tease people with such a high number, because they're going out there thinking that this is what they're going to get. And then they're disappointed, and then they get mad because they went through all of this. But if they had just been told, when they say it's up to is the highest amount, that is not the starting salary. So just wanted to end on that note. All right, so I hope you'll join me tomorrow for a Q&A Tuesday, and I will see y'all then. So if you're a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider, or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all next time. Bye!